Act 5, Scene 4, and we see the English and rebel Scottish armies under the leadership of Malcolm, and they're finally in Burnham Wood. And Malcolm, in a great military foresight, orders all of the soldiers to cut down a branch from the trees and carry it. It's a tactic where he's trying to conceal how many men are actually coming up so that Macbeth doesn't know what he's facing. But obviously, this immediately makes us think about the prophecies from the witches. Malcolm is hoping that by defeating Macbeth, the murder of his father will be avenged, but also that Scotland will be at peace again and that they will find a safety. His words about the fact they don't doubt it really contrast to Macbeth saying he's got these saucy doubts and fears, that he is caught up in where he is and that there is nothing that he can do to make Scotland a safe place. Despite it being a short scene, there is plenty that you can talk about within this scene. Malcolm begins it by saying, "I hope the days are near at hand, the chambers will be safe." And there's two things here. The chambers is a metaphor of Scotland. So he's hoping that with this final battle, Macbeth will be defeated and people can sleep safe at night. But the word chambers here links back to the idea of regicide, and that by defeating Macbeth and, metaphorically any villain's going to overcome them, that actually it means that there will be security within the reign. And this could be Shakespeare shouting out to King James I, saying, actually you are secure, you have loyal followers, people love you for who you are, and therefore your chambers where you sleep and where you repose, where you rest, are actually going to be free from assassins. And Malcolm then says, "Look, we're at Burnham Wood. Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him." So he's talking about cutting down the tree branches to hold in front of them to disguise the numbers of their soldiers. Syward reminds him the confident tyrant, referencing Macbeth's arrogance, he thinks he can't be slain, is in Dunsinane, and he will try to withstand any force that comes against him. But Malcolm says to him, kind of don't worry about him, because nobody is there backing Macbeth because they love him. None serve him but with constrained things whose hearts are absent too. They're doing their duty because they feel they have to. They're not to blame for this. This is Malcolm's way of saying, I understand why these people are fighting for Macbeth. They're doing the things that they feel they have to do. And Syward ends this scene by saying, "The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe." So, and then he calls for the arms to go to war. He's saying that the time is coming when we know whose side we need to be on. This horrible bloody battle is rapidly approaching its bloody climax. Although this is a really short scene, you do need to understand its political importance. So drawing that pictogram with Malcolm organising his army and the key quotations around how Macbeth's soldiers are fighting without love and honour is really important. So try and capture that if you decide to revise by drawing a pictogram. Again, think about how you would have Malcolm if you were going to be directing this. Remember all of the things that have gone on before. We've seen Malcolm with this reverse psychology when he was talking to Macduff. We've seen him flee. We don't really know much about him as a king at this point. So think really carefully about how you would have him portrayed on the screen or the stage at this point. If you want to be more creative and you want to write it, think about being Malcolm at this point. Script a soliloquy where he voices his thoughts about the upcoming battle. We know in Elizabethan and Jacobean theatre that soliloquies are really important for understanding the thought process of those characters, and Malcolm's a bit of an unknown quality at this point. So think about trying to capture his thoughts about the upcoming battle. Is he frightened? Is he frightened to face this tyrant, this man who blisters everybody's tongues? Can you use some of that language about him to fuel this rage that he needs to feel about the death of his father? And therefore, what is he going to say to his troops?